Okay, so hey, here's a little bit of a feel-good story. The kids are figuring out a way to get back at their influencer overlords with what has come to be known as the digitine, the digital guillotine, and why TikTok is blocking big-name celebrities. Now, I just got to say, I like Zendaya, but she's kind of become the face of this Met Gala for I think because she looks, if you look at this picture, this looks so much like a scene from the Hunger Games. Just
Yeah.
the outfit that they put her on. I've seen the hashtag District 12 attached to this picture, and it very much looks like that. Um, the Met Gala is home to the biggest night in fashion, and on the first Monday of every May, the world's biggest stars strut up the steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City at the event curated by Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour. But this year, like many others, the annual fundraising event for the museum's Costume Institute became a battleground in the American class and culture wars. As the cost of living balloons and simultaneous deadly international conflicts continue, the reported $75,000 price tag for a ticket to the feat already rubbed some on social media the wrong way. Then came the viral TikTok. Influencer and model Haley Khalil turned heads for a video using a TikTok sound that muttered, "Let them eat cake," a slogan commonly associated with French Queen Marie Antoinette, who was central during the social unrest of the French Revolution in the 1700s. Much like Antoinette, the internet wanted off with Khalil's head, and a slew of other influencers and A-list celebrities from Kim Kardashian to Taylor Swift. The now deleted video kickstarted a digital movement called the digitine, a digital guillotine urging social media users to block celebrities in a modern day eat the rich social movement. All right, so the original video did get deleted, but everyone grabbed it and attached it to their own videos. So this is just one of the places that the original video got featured.
Let them eat cake.
Here, take the bomb.
That was an interesting choice by your marketing and PR team. They finally said let them eat cake out loud. You might have just unlocked the rage of millions of people, and I would suggest looking into how that story ends.
It's just amazing. Like, people think of the Met Gala as a let them eat cake type of thing, and to just like say it out loud, it's just like, it's kind of wild.
I can just imagine the team that came up with that. Oh my God, you know what'll be amazing? You know what'll be amazing? Let's just say let them eat cake in the middle of Fifth Avenue. It'll be everyone will be talking about it. It'll be crazy.
Yep. They were right in that sense.
They were right. They definitely, and actually, I didn't bother to feature it because who cares? But the model here put out an apology video because she wants to have a career. I got to say, I see her as basically a victim of her team. Like, what the fuck does she know?
No, right. Yeah.
What does she know? They threw her in an outfit and told her to do this.
Right. If she weren't attending the Met Gala, if that were just like an ironic piece of performance art, it may have actually worked.
Yes, if somebody were commenting on the Met,
right.
But no, like her apology.
If AOC did that, she should have done it.
Well, this article, I didn't bother getting into it because it's a whole other thing. The article kind of gets into the AOC thing and past movements. The digitine movement appears to have been the brainchild of one user, Lady from the Outside, who responded to Khalil's "let them eat cake" comments with a message of her own. The video has garnered 2.5 million views and nearly 600,000 likes on the platform. So we do have that. The rallying cry, the Danton, the Marat of the digitine, Lady from the Outside. We'll take it back to the top.
Let them eat cake.
It's time for the people to conduct what I want to call a digital guillotine, a digitine, if you will. It's time to block all the celebrities, influencers, and wealthy socialites who are not using their resources to help those in dire need. We gave them their platforms. It's time to take it back, take our views away, our likes, our comments, our money, by blocking them on all social media and digital platforms. And I think the first person that we should all focus on is Haley here. Haley Bailey, for your ignorant decision to attend the $75,000 ticket Met Gala and recite "Let Them Eat Cake" while you have done nothing with your 10 million follower platform as people are starving and dying, we sentence you to the digitine.
Vive la révolution.
How many did she lose?
Her, I don't know. Kim Kardashian lost 3 million. That's the only actual number that the article gives, because she wound up getting named in this. Right. No, what I really like about this is it has expanded to celebrities who are not speaking out about the horrors of this moment generally.
Right.
In an apology video, Khalil addressed the controversy and said she was not invited by Wintour to attend the Met Gala. Instead, she said she was stationed at the Mark Hotel, a hotbed for celebrities ahead of the night's red carpet festivities, as a host for entertainment outlet E, covering hotel exits and creating content. Karen Fragoso, an online activist who has worked professionally in influencer marketing and, quote, grew up idolizing the Met Gala, first got involved in the digital guillotine movement after Khalil's video went viral. Fragoso's own video about Kardashian losing 3 million followers on Instagram in recent weeks has garnered over 1 million views so far. Quote, it's like, oh, you're an influencer, but you're not like us. You pretend to be, but you're going to the Met Gala. And that's when we were all like, okay, we as a people need to unite. And I know all of us are in different places of the world. So we said, we're together virtually. Fragoso tells USA Today about her frustrations. I actually watched her video. She doesn't talk like that. While the movement is gaining momentum, some users are pushing back on the digital guillotine efforts as a second wind of cancel culture. And all of them attended the douchebag dialogues. Quote, it's going to take a lot more than this to change the world around you. You cannot do things that are simply inconvenient or uncomfortable. You're going to have to do things that are downright painful, one TikTok user said. Quote, nobody owes you anything. That's my point. Just because somebody doesn't speak on a topic and you're upset about it, it's cancel culture 2.0, another TikTok user added. All right, that is a really R-word take. It sounds like you're kind of a free speech person. Well, boycotting is part of free speech, isn't it?
Right. So
is it what they're not even going after their employers, right? They're just saying, "Hey, I am not going to follow you anymore."
Well, this is the thing. So bottom-up boycotts are not cancel culture. Cancel culture is when a handful of people in positions of wealth and power decide to turn off a switch on your access to a platform, right? Or when your employer shit cans you. Someone who has power over you exercises that power against you because of what you think.
Right.
And the numbers here matter. Canceling is when a small group of people with outsized power decides they're going to turn the lights out on somebody, right?
Will
Censoring
someone
them,
please think of the wealthy influencers?
Exactly.
Will someone please think of the Kardashians and what this is doing to them?
When 3 million people decide, you know what, if Kim Kardashian doesn't have a word to say about the horrors of our time, I'm not going to drive her income with my engagement on social media, so I'm just going to not follow her. That's not cancel culture. That's popular will. That's popular opinion turning against somebody.
I mean, frankly, I think a day is going to come when people in that position are going to look back on the days when it was only an expression of digital hostility very fondly. But the person who says here, this isn't enough, you're right, but you're creating a cultural atmosphere for more.
Right.
That, obviously, just unfollowing someone on TikTok, you can't say, well, my job here is done. right? Of course, there's a lot more to do, but it's something. It's something to do, and it should definitely be encouraged. But Fregoso says blocking celebrities is crucial for social change because it carries an economic impact. Exactly. That's all these people care about. You're hitting them in their wallet. She added that blocking is important because brands look at an influencer or celebrity's number of followers and engagement data before choosing to partner with them to promote a product. She added that folks need to eat the rich and tax the rich because the elite need to know that they can't get away with everything. Here, my sister. I'm sorry for making fun of you before. She really doesn't talk like that. Okay, so this whole movement, as part of this, has inspired people to make videos themed same planet, different worlds. Right. And everyone cuts in images of the Met Gala. Now, there's a particular song that everyone uses for these that's copyrighted, so we took it out. But even mute, it's pretty powerful. Let's start it from the beginning.
To those listening on the audio version of this podcast, we hope you're enjoying this brief moment of silence.
Meditate.
Yeah. Meditate.
So these are images of the horrors of Gaza intercut with the decadence of the Met Gala. So hey, man, these are all very, very hopeful signs. Some people feel like culture is a distraction, and as you all know, I don't agree with that. I think you can be overly focused on culture, but culture and politics are inseparable, and I think it's important to have a change in the cultural timbre if you want to have any chance at having a meaningful political change.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, and I think this is part of why people don't watch the Oscars anymore. I think this is part of why people don't invest in, celebrities as much as they used to. I mean, there are a lot of reasons for that, but I think one of them is that this is really a situation of same planet, two worlds, right? Like when their reality is so different from the reality of the average person, it becomes very difficult to feel any sort of connection with them. That's why I never watched like shows like Downton Abbey. I mean, my wife's a big fan of that show, and I always say it's like watching fish swim in a tank to me. Like I feel so disconnected from them as people. I can't even enjoy it as entertainment because it just feels so foreign to me.
Well, you know what I felt was indicative of a kind of foreshadowing of where we're getting now. Believe it or not. Now, so Mark Kermode is this famously vitriolic film critic in England. And he did what maybe his best work was his review of Sex and the City 2, in which he actually sang the Internationale during the video. And if you look at the reviews, everything that people were savaging that movie for was completely on brand for that franchise. And I read in that there's a sea change here where something that just celebrates this kind of empty, decadent, shallow display of wealth just doesn't play the way it did in the 90s. People are starting to find this very distasteful. And right around the same time was when, I've mentioned it a couple times, you have the Dark Knight Rises, which in the end reinforces the establishment message. The revolutionary turns out to be evil and Batman has to come beat him up, right? But hey, look, you start to get these class overtones that you never saw overtly, where Catwoman's at the grand ball. It was right around the same time as Sex and the City 2 came out. She says, one day you and your friends are going to wonder how you ever lived so large or thought you could live this way and live so little for the rest of us. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning where you started to see in culture a change where people started. It was just the beginning to question this. And this is now a more mature manifestation of people just having no patience for these people anymore. You saw it during COVID when the celebrities dropped that Imagine video and got savaged for it because they still think that they represent cultural leaders.
Right.
That was the mentality. They thought, well, people are going to look to us.
Right.
And it was quite the opposite, because everyone's first instinct was, you're not living the pandemic that I'm living.
Right.
Don't pretend we're in this together. We're not.
Right. Exactly.
Please clap.